Hi friends, welcome to the KIE channel. Knowledge is everything. As part of today's video, we are going to learn the different type of subprocess. There are 4 to 5 subprocesses are there. Reusable subprocess, from a process how to call another process, and multi-instance to process the list of objects, and ad hoc subprocess to kickstart itself, and event-based subprocess when an event occurs, how the subprocess will be called, as well as these kind of embedded subprocess. So for our 4 to 5 subprocesses are there, but as part of today's video I'll be covering reusable subprocess as well as the multi-instance subprocess. So I'll be creating a project, subprocess, just give the description, subprocess example. So to execute this subprocess example also, I'll be taking in gateways how we have taken a simple example. The same way I'll take another mortgage loan example so that you people will get a clear picture. Just add an asset, business process. I'll be giving parent process, and I'll be selecting the package. Just click on OK. So this is about the mortgage loan request. Just select the start, and for the visibility I am reducing the zoom, and I'll be selecting a user task. So for that mortgage approval, loan approval, manager approval is required. Manager approval, just save it. See if any kind of error messages, it will be shown in the message section. It has no end node. So now I'll select in gateway, exclusive gateway. If he approves, we'll be calling a loan process, which is the sub process for this parent process. So we can use the reusable sub process. Before that, let me explain you the different kind of sub process. So this is an embedded sub process, and ad hoc sub process, and reusable sub process, and like to maintain a parent and child relationship. Event based sub process, when an event occurs, that process gets triggered, and multi-instance to process a list of objects. So we'll be covering the reusable as well as the multi-instance. Just select the manager approval and go towards to this exclusive gateway. Next, try to add the reusable subprocess. This is loan subprocess. If the manager approves, it will go for the loan subprocess. If he rejects it, that will be rejected. Just save this one. And end the flow after the loan subprocess is called. And within the loan subprocess, we are going to utilize the multi-instance. The person who is coming for the mortgage loan, he will be requesting two mortgage loans. He is having two properties. For the two properties, he is going to request the bank for two loans. So for manager approval, I will be creating a manager approval flag, and it will be boolean data type, and under the tags I will be selecting the custom, and I will be giving the same name. And apart from this, he will be requesting two kind of loans, right? To process those two kind of loans, property loans, will be depending upon a multi-instance. That multi-instance will be residing within another sub process that I'll show you. First, let us create the mortgage list. This is the mortgage list I am creating. This is an object, nothing but a list. I'll show you how to create that one. Custom, I'll be keeping, just select this one, save this one. Yeah, this is fine. Now first of all, to call this loan subprocess, right, we'll be creating another asset, loan subprocess. And here, as usual, it start with the start node, and here just control Z. Here we'll be receiving the list of mortgages. Start connected to the multi-instance, and end the multi-instance. For now, just save this one. The values and all those things I'll first give it in the parent process, then later on I'll give it in the sub process, so that you people will get a clear picture. So till here it's clear, right? Manager approval, we have given a manager approval flag. First let us complete that one. Select an actor. I'll be selecting a WB admin as an actor, and within the assignments I'll be selecting the manager approval as the boolean data type, and manager approval I am giving. Just click on OK, and here if he approves, it will go for the sub process. So this is true. So if it's true, the process will go for the loan sub process, or else that loan gets rejected. This false. So just save this one. See, and if any validation kind of errors are there, it will be showing in the messages. Reusable subprocess has no called element. Reusable subprocess is like within a process we'll be calling another process. Here parent process we have designed, at the same time we have designed loan subprocess also, and we want to call the loan subprocess from the parent process. So for that reason within the reusable subprocess we need to mention the called element, like which thing we need to call. I want to call the loan subprocess, and input elements, the data in the data assignments for this loan subprocess. Manager is forwarding the mortgage list whatever he will be receiving, and this is of type object. So he will be having two mortgages. For the two mortgages, for the two properties, he is requesting two loans. So till here, now let us save. See, the diagram is saved successfully. Earlier, within this loan subprocess, we are not pointing the called element. Now, whenever we have pointed out the called element, right? So when we have given the called element, when we are calling the loan subprocess, automatically the validation is gone now. Now let us enter some for the mortgage list, assign some values. That also within the on entry action I'll be doing. So I have already prepared a list. See, I'm using java.util.list because we have defined object type object. So within that I'm adding m1 mortgage and m2 mortgage, and those two things I'm adding to the mortgage list. In the on entry actions, just enter this one. So once again I'm repeating. So I have selected a object which is of type list, and within that list I am adding two mortgages m1 and m2, and after that adding that to the list of objects. That list I am setting it to the kcontext.set variable to the process level variable of mortgage list. Now this is fine, just save this one. Now go to the loan subprocess. Now within the loan subprocess I'll be receiving the mortgage list as the input, right? So the same thing I'm gonna create here as the process level variable for the subprocess. Data type will be object, and tags also custom, and select. Yes, that's it. Now just select the start. Start I have pasted here. Select the simple script task to print the mortgage, each mortgage related details. Then end the flow. So till now we have given the process level variable only. For the multi-instance, if you want to process any data, there are a number of options like MI execution mode. Like you want to run sequentially those list of elements or parallelly. For now I'm selecting sequentially, and MI collection input, like we have entered in the process level variable, right? We have already entered the mortgage list as the process level variables. That is the reason you're able to see the collection of inputs here. And mi data input, like each individual element, this is the list, right? So to clearly say this, like this for each loop, this multi-instance will work as like a for each loop. In the for each loop, how you will give list and then each element, the same way mortgage list is the list of objects, and mortgage value is the each property value. So if you want to put any conditions for in the MI completion, you can put that one. On entry and on exit you can put something, and SLA due date you can give. If it has to be processed in asynchronous way, you can enable this ease async. N number of things are there. I will try to cover those things in the coming up videos. Print loan details. So whatever the MI input value we have given, right, that value I'll be printing in the script task. System dot out dot println each mortgagee value is so save this one. So there are no validation errors are there. Let us go ahead and deploy. Once during the execution I'll explain you clearly once again like what is happening. Now deploy is also successful. Let us go ahead to the process definitions. This is the parent process we have created, and this is the loan subprocess we have created, and parent and child are having relationship with the reusable subprocess. So we have to start the parent process first. So just click on enter, click on that new process instance and just submit. So that particular process got started. So if you go and see here, it is waiting for the manager approval. Once the manager approves, those two mortgagee two property values will be going for this loan subprocess, and within the loan subprocess we are having multi-instance that will print those two mortgagee values. That how it will work I'll show you. Now go to the tasks, go to this manager approval section and start this one and select it as a true and complete this one. And if you see in the logs, each mortgagee value is M1 and M2. I'll show you what it has done in the backend. Process instances and go to the completed section, and this was the parent process which was started. Internally it has called the loan subprocess using the reusable subprocess, and within loan subprocess we are utilizing the multi-instance concept, and whatever the mortgagee list we are receiving, each mortgagee value we are printing using the MI data values, like MI data values as we are giving a mortgagee list, and each individual mortgagee value we are taking an independent element and we are printing in the print loan details. So within this process instances, this was the parent process instance and this was the particular diagram for it. So if you see here, it has come for the manager approval. Once the manager approved, those loan details has been sent to the a separate process, that is loan subprocess, and within the loan subprocess we have utilized the multi-instance concept to process those two property loans. So that is about the subprocess, guys. uh, Hope you have liked the video. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you everyone.